Welcome. Let us start our discussion on concentrating collectors. Concentrating collectors are optical reflecting or refracting devices. They usually have a convex, flat, or concave surface to intercept and focus the sun's beam radiation to a smaller receiving area, thereby increasing the radiation flux. Concentrating collectors are suitable for high temperature applications. Concentrating collectors can operate under beam radiation only. So one typical we can say drawback of concentrating collectors is that they can make use of beam radiation only and they cannot operate on diffuse radiation. So most of the concentrators need sun tracking. Some sort of tracking mechanism is needed to follow the sun's movement over a day. So briefly the nomenclature of concentrating collectors. So this is a reflector surface, you can say. This is a collector. Okay, this is a parabolic shape, we can say. And then this is a reflector surface. Now solar energy is incident on this reflecting surface and then it is focused on a focus. So this is a focus. So some absorber tube is placed, which is called receiver here. So a receiver is placed at the focus. Now this is a focal axis. So this is an important parameter in a concentrating collector. This is a focal axis. This is diameter of the absorber. Now W is the width of the collector here, width of the concentrator, and L is the length of the concentrator. So aperture is the area, it is a projected area which is facing the sun. So W into L is the aperture area. Okay, and area concentration ratio, I'll change here, it is not ration, it is ratio. So area concentration ratio is given by aperture area by receiver area. Now aperture area here is W into L and receiver area is D into L. So this is the receiver area, so D into L. So the area concentration ratio here becomes W by D. Now classification of concentrating collectors. How do we classify the concentrating collectors? Maybe on the basis of formation of image on the absorber, we can classify as imaging collectors such as parabolic trough, parabolic dish. So this is a parabolic dish. It forms when sun is concentrated, solar energy is concentrated at this focus, the image of sun is formed. So heliostats is also imaging form of concentrating collectors. You can see here the image of the solar energy formed due to all these mirrors which are placed here. So imaging collectors, they form image on the receiver, image of sun on the receiver. Non-imaging collectors, the example is compound parabolic. So this is a reflector. It receives the solar sunshine and then it reflects only on the absorber. It doesn't form any image on the receiver. Then on the basis of focus, fixed focus concentrators and moving focus. Fixed focus concentrators, they have a fixed focus. For example, here the linear Fresnel collector. Okay, so this is a linear Fresnel lens and these are the reflectors here. And then the reflector is reflecting sunlight on a focus here. So this focus is fixed and these small mirrors, they are moving along with the sun. Okay, here Schaeffler dish. Schaeffler dish is also a fixed focus. The focus lies here and the collector tracks the sun. Moving focus, typically parabolic dish. So the entire dish tracks the sun and along with the dish the focus also moves. Here is the focus. Similarly, in parabolic trough collectors, so this is a parabolic trough collector, this is a parabola here and parabolic profile, and this is the length. So this is a focus here, and the entire collector is tracked about the sun, and along with the collector the focus moves. So this is moving focus collectors. Then on the basis of tracking single axis and double axis, parabolic trough and linear Fresnel lenses. So here, as the sun moves over, these mirrors move individually and then they follow the sun and focus light on the absorber. So this is a single axis tracking. Linear Fresnel collectors. Parabolic trough, again the same example. This collector it is horizontal and it moves as the sun moves. It follows the sun. So it is a single axis. So tracking it takes place in a single axis. So we can classify the collectors as single axis tracking and then double axis. Double axis track collectors are this parabolic dish. To maintain the focus accurately, parabolic dish has to track in double axis, in two axis tracking. Heliostats also, these mirrors. In heliostats there is a tower. At the tower is a receiver placed, and these mirrors, they are autonomously tracked. They track the movement of the sun, so they reflect the sunlight on a tower. So in this case also these mirrors need to track the sun correctly. So here double axis tracking is needed. Double axis tracking is more accurate than single axis tracking. Double axis tracked collectors produce higher temperature than the single axis tracked collectors. Now about the concentration ratio. Concentration ratio, as we have seen previously, it is a ratio of aperture area by receiver area. So AA by AR. So let us take one hypothetical concept of concentrator and receiver. Let us for example take a concentrator, spherical concentrator with area, aperture area AA, and the receiver with receiver area AR. This does not physically represent the geometrical shape, but just to represent it schematically. Okay, and then it receives, this aperture and receiver receives the sun rays from the sun. Now when we look from this point towards the sun, the included angle of the sun is this theta or 2 theta, and this single angle is called theta m. This is called the acceptance angle, theta m. R is the distance between the sun and the concentrator, and then small r represents the radius of the sun. Now if the sun and concentrator are both considered to be the black bodies at temperature Ts and Tr, so let us consider the sun at a temperature of Ts and receiver at a temperature of Tr, and both are assumed to be black bodies. Then the amount of radiation emitted by the sun is given by, so the amount of radiation emitted by sun is given by Stefan-Boltzmann law. So 4 pi r square is the surface area of the sun, and sigma Ts raised to 4. Sigma is the Stefan-Boltzmann constant. Ts is the temperature of the sun surface. Then a fraction, now not all the radiation emitted by the sun is intercepted by the concentrator. So the fraction of this radiation intercepted by the concentration is given by the Sheff factor. So it is aperture area by the distance. So this distance. So this spherical disk of sphere of sun is radiating energy at this level in this sphere, imaginary sphere. Out of that, this only AA area is received by this concentrator. So the fraction received by the concentrator is AA by 4 pi r square. Therefore the energy radiated from the sun and received by the concentrator is QSR AA 4 pi r square. So the same QS upon AA by 4, this is a Sheff factor. So FSR, if we substitute here, AA by 4 pi r square into a 4 pi r square and sigma Ts raised to 4. So this is the energy radiated from sun and received by the concentrator. Then a black body receiver also radiates equal to AR TR raised to 4 amount of energy, and the fraction of this reaches the sun, which is given by QRS, heat radiated by the receiver to the sun, is equal to AR, it is the surface area of the receiver, FR is shape factor for receiver to sun, and then sigma Stefan-Boltzmann constant, TR is the temperature of the receiver raised to 4. Under this idealized condition, the maximum temperature of the receiver, now if we imagine that the sun goes on radiating the energy and it is incident on the receiver, then hypothetical one ideal situation is that the receiver temperature goes on increasing, and in the end case or in the infinite case it will attain the temperature of the sun. Okay, so under this idealized condition, the maximum temperature of the receiver is equal to that of the sun. According to second law of thermodynamics, if this has to happen, then this heat radiated by sun to receiver and heat radiated by receiver to sun must be equal. Okay, so if we equate this equation 3 and 4, we get an expression of concentration ratio. So after simplification, if we get this ratio as aperture area by reservoir area is equal to capital R square by small r square into FRS. This is the shape factor. Now the maximum value of shape factor is equal to 1. So if we assume this to be equal to 1 in idealized condition, then the maximum concentration ratio for 3-dimensional concentrators is Cmax equal to 1 by sin square theta m. We can see here R by R is sin theta m. So this R by R is sin theta m. Okay, so with R by R equal to sin theta m, Cmax, maximum concentration ratio, is given by 1 by sin square theta m. Theta m is the acceptance angle. Now a similar analysis for linear concentrator, it gives Cmax is equal to 1 by theta m for parabolic trough concentrators, we can say. So if the acceptance angle is say 3 degrees, then sin 3 degree, 1 by sin 3 degree will be the maximum concentration ratio, theoretical concentration ratio. And for a parabolic dish concentrator, if acceptance angle is say 1 degree, then sin square 1 degree, it gives you the maximum concentration ratio for that parabolic dish. Now this forms the benchmark of the maximum concentration ratio. Suppose we build a parabolic trough concentrator system with a design of 3 degrees of acceptance angle. Then what is the theoretical maximum concentration ratio we can achieve? So if we use this formula, that gives you the benchmark of concentration ratio. The actual concentration ratio will always be less than this. Okay. So the higher the concentration ratio, higher is the temperature obtained in the collector. At the same time, tracking requirements become more stringent. Okay, so this increases the cost of the system. So somehow some balance has to be struck between the cost of the tracking system and the higher concentration ratio. Okay, so this balance needs to be struck by the designer. Now let us see the concentrators which are popularly used in the applications. The first concentrator is the compound parabolic concentrator, CPCs. Okay, so this consists of 2 reflectors which are parabolic in shape. So this is one reflector which has a parabolic shape and it extends, the length is like this. So this is the first left side parabolic reflector, and then another parabolic shape reflector sheet, parabolic sheet type of reflector is mounted here on this side, and now this is the absorber. Solar energy is incident through this aperture. Now aperture is this is the width and this is the length. So this is the aperture of the compound parabolic collector. Now acceptance angle is this. So this is the total acceptance angle. Acceptance angle is the angle beyond which solar energy will not be able to fall on the absorber. So that is a maximum acceptance angle. So the acceptance angle is for this compound parabolic collector is this. Okay. Now we have already discussed this thing in our previous discussion. What is the maximum value of acceptance angle and acceptance angle concept. Now this is the half acceptance angle. Okay. So half acceptance angle is theta c. Now the characteristic of this concentration ratio, compound parabolic collectors which are used in market, they come in the concentration ratio from 1.2 to 1.5. Now what is the concentration ratio here? Concentration ratio is the ratio of this aperture area, this W into L, by this absorber area. So this ratio comes in the range of 1.2 to 1.5 in CPC. So it is a low concentration ratio collector. Temperature of water obtained in these collectors is in the range of 80 to 130 degrees Celsius. So for this temperature range, this collector is used in low temperature industrial process heating applications. For example, heating electroplating baths, for air heating applications. So these collectors can be used for these applications. Tracking, single axis and periodic tracking. So it is oriented east to west, okay, and then this is north south, and then sun moves from east to west here, and then periodically the collector is tracked like this. So as the sun moves, the collector is tracked periodically. No continuous tracking is we can say advised for this type of collector. Now what is the current status? It is slowly getting commercial acceptance, but still a lot of work is needed to be done for its integration into various industrial process heating applications. One characteristic of this compound parabolic collector is its low cost. So it offers a low cost, so it becomes affordable to the industrial process heating integration. So there are a number of prospective projects where these compound parabolic collectors can be used. And one important thing is that we can indigenously build the entire compound parabolic collectors on our own. So there is a scope for indigenous development. So we have already seen these photographs in our earlier presentations. So this is a parabolic, this is a practical application of compound parabolic collector. Not application, but it is a photograph. So this is a parabolic profile, and here there is at the focus there is an absorber placed. So one can get easily the temperature in the range of 130 degrees Celsius. So we can generate low pressure steam using this collector. Second most popular concentrator concept is the parabolic concentrators. So the parabola has a characteristic that if light is normally incident on this parabolic profile, then the light is reflected at a common point, that is called focus. So this is a parabolic profile. If we provide a mirror surface or a reflector surface on the inside here, and then solar rays are parallelly incident on this reflector surface, you will get a focus here. At the focus, solar energy is concentrated. Now if this parabolic profile is revolved about its focus in two axes, okay, then we get a parabolic dish. Now if we extend this parabolic profile along the length, we will get a parabolic trough collector. So we will first discuss the parabolic trough collector. So this is a parabolic trough collector. This is a parabolic profile, and solar radiation is parallelly incident normally on this, and then extended along the length of the collector. So this is the parabolic trough collector. Parabolic trough collector, the concentration ratios are 5 to 60. So we can get concentration ratios from 5 to 60. Temperature range obtained is 110 to 400 degrees Celsius. Now the application of this parabolic trough collector is medium temperature industrial process heating, pasteurization, power generation. So there have been plants in India which use parabolic trough concentrator for power generation. In laundry applications also, these parabolic trough concentrators they provide steam to 130-140 degrees Celsius. Tracking, single axis tracking, but continuous is needed. For example, these collectors are mounted north-south, and then they track the sun east-west. So east-west single axis tracking is needed. The cost of this collector is expensive than CPC and flat plate collector. The typical costs are 25,000 rupees per meter square and all. still there is a scope for development, still there is a scope for reduction in the cost of the parabolic trough concentrator. Generally, the reflector used is the anodized aluminum sheet. Glass is not a preferred choice, being a heavy material and brittle material. So what is the status of development of this parabolic trough collector? For power generation, slowly getting commercial acceptance. There is a scope for indigenous development. Again, there is a scope for indigenous development of parabolic trough collector. Lot of parabolic troughs are available which are imported, but there is a scope for indigenous development. This is one example of parabolic trough collector, mirror collector, which is built for experimental purpose at IIT Madras. So these are the mirror Saint-Gobain mirrors used here. So reflector material is Saint-Gobain glass converted into mirror. Reflectivity of this mirror is 0.95. The width is this 2.5 meters and then length is 3 meters. So two such modules are there. So the total area is 15 meters square. This is a receiver diameter. Receiver diameter is 65 millimeters. So here is a receiver and the focus. Receiver material is stainless steel. Concentration ratio is 26. So this is the aperture area. Aperture area by the receiver area is 26. Rim angle 65 degrees. We will discuss then when we study the optical analysis of parabolic trough concentrators. Rim angle is the angle connecting the focus and the extreme edge and the center line of this parabolic trough. Tracking is north-south axis tracking. Okay. So this is another example. This is another snapshot of the actual example of the parabolic trough collector. This is a focus and this is a parabolic reflector. This reflector is anodized aluminum sheet. So this is a side view of this previous collector here. This is a parabolic profile and then this is a focus here and a receiver with glass tube. This is a tracking mechanism. The entire structure is supported by this structure, angular channel structure. Another example of parabolic trough plant which is installed at NISC Gurgaon. So you can see here the tracking mechanism. So this is for tracking mechanism used, and this you can see how lightweight the structure is. Here again anodized aluminum sheet is used. Some parabolic trough collector installations abroad. You can see the how lightweight these structures are and how nicely they are designed. We engineers in India need to design the parabolic trough concentrators which are light in weight for tracking and which are less in the cost. Then only this collector will be developed for industrial process applications. So this is again the snapshots of 50 megawatt parabolic trough concentrator solar thermal power plant. So parabolic trough concentrators used for power generation applications. You can see the profile, parabolic profile here and the receiver here. Again a very light structure. The next concentrator is parabolic dish. So this parabolic dish is a three-dimensional. It is a revolution of the parabolic profile in about its axis. So this is the parabolic dish snapshots. So at focus the solar energy is incident. Now the parabolic dish collectors, they come in the concentration ratio of 25 to 200. So very high concentration ratios are obtained. So the temperature obtained also will be are very high with parabolic dishes. So temperature range is 165 to 400 degrees Celsius. Application: high temperature industrial process heating, pasteurization, low capacity power generation with Stirling engine. Okay. Tracking is double axis. It is a mandatory because parabolic dish concentrators need double axis tracking and continuous tracking. So dishes are expensive. So therefore they are not popular. What is the status then? Scope. There is still scope for indigenous development of small power generation. Okay. Now this is a Schaeffler dish, fixed focus. The focus is here. This is a dish. It receives solar energy and then it reflects the solar energy to a secondary concentrator, you can say, or you can say the secondary focus here, and here you get the energy. This is a fixed focus Schaeffler dish. Now the actual photograph of Schaeffler dish. So the Schaeffler dishes come in the concentration ratio of 5 to 20. A temperature range is 110 to 150 degrees Celsius, and application low temperature industrial process heating applications like hotels, in cooking and in laundry. Single axis tracking is needed, but with periodic adjustment of north-south. So single axis tracking means it tracks the sun north, east-west, and then this periodic adjustment is needed in the north-south direction. Economy, this is a cost effective. You can get this 4 meters square or 6 meters square of dish in 2.5 lakh rupees. So status, there is a scope for the viable industrial process heating. These Schaeffler dishes you will find its installation in many charitable organizations. So where there is where there is no question of profit and loss. So the viability of Schaeffler dish for industrial process heating, where there is a question of profit making, comes there is a scope for development of Schaeffler dish in that environment. This is a paraboloid dish, which is the assembly of mirrors. This is a paraboloid dish, which is a parabola is created here by assembling the number of mirrors. They are mounting number of mirrors on a dish. But this dish the mirror individually doesn't track, but the dish tracks the sun. It is a moving focus. So the focus also moves along with the sun. So this parabolic dish has come in the concentration ratios of 20. We can build this parabolic dish in the concentration ratios of 20 to 125. Temperature range 110 to 300 degrees Celsius. And applications, medium temperature industrial process heating, hotels, cooking, laundry and pasteurization. So tracking needed is double axis tracking for this, and then continuous tracking is needed. This is cost effective for this size. You can see this is a 1600 square feet aperture area dish. So if the size of the dish is larger, then only it becomes cost effective. There is a scope for viable industrial process heating integration. So integrating this dish in the industrial processes, there is a scope for undertaking the research projects here. Now the next type of concentrator is central receiver system. In central receiver system, a large number of mirrors are installed. They are built on a ground, and then each mirror is a separate mirror. Each mirror can track the sun. So this mirror faces the sun. It receives the solar radiation, and solar radiation is reflected again on a common point at the tower. This is called a tower. So sometimes this system is also called power tower. Okay, and each autonomous mirror system is called heliostats. So these heliostats focus solar energy on a tower. Here very high temperatures are obtained. These mirrors are double two axis tracked, and they are very big mirrors. We can have an idea of this type. So you can have, this is an aerial view of a test platform in Spain, which is a heliostat test facility. So you can see here are the mirrors, and here there is a tower which receives the solar radiation. Now this type of concentrating receiver system, they come in the concentration, very high concentration ratios from 100 to 1000. As the number of mirrors go on increasing, the concentration ratio go on increasing. So the temperatures obtained are also very high. So the temperatures which have been obtained in these test or experimental heliostat facilities or experimental central receiver system have been in the range of 400 to 1000 degrees Celsius. Now the obvious application of this type of system is for power generation, high pressure and high temperature steam generation. So double axis tracking is needed, continuous tracking. Okay, economy, these systems are expensive, but one advantage of this system is that they avoid, or they they eliminate the need of expensive piping, high pressure piping, which is needed in case of parabolic trough concentrator. So that's why this option for power generation becomes attractive. So there is a great scope for viable indigenous development in power plant subcomponents. So development of power plant subcomponents in central receiver systems offers a great scope for researchers as well as entrepreneurs and as well as engineers who are interested to develop this. Just to have an idea of the size of the heliostat, you can see this is a heliostat. Now you can see here this is a reflection in this mirror. This is a mirror. Okay, and then this is a reflection in the mirror of this a tower on which it is the solar radiations are focused. You can see the pole here on which this structure on which these mirrors are mounted, and then the autonomous tracking mechanism here. So here you can get a better idea or a clear idea of this is a foundation of the heliostat structure, this is a pole, and then this is a mirror. Okay, this is an autonomously tracked heliostat. There is a great scope for development, indigenous development of this autonomous heliostat for power generation. Next type of concentrator is linear Fresnel collectors, linear Fresnel reflector you can say. So here Fresnelization, these Fresnelizations means individual reflection, making providing individual mirrors which individually reflect the solar radiation on a common absorber. So you can see here there are number of mirrors which are arranged in a separate manner, and each mirror is tracked with this shaft separately. Each mirror is tracked. You can see here this is a mirror and this is tracking device. So each mirror, it focuses the sun on a secondary mirror, and in turn this secondary mirror refocuses it on an absorber. Very high temperatures are obtained. These type of linear Fresnel reflectors are used in Rajasthan by Reliance for power generation applications. There is one pilot plant which is installed in Rajasthan by Reliance, Areva, by the company named Areva. So this snapshot is from that Areva installation only. So these linear Fresnel reflectors, they come in the concentration ratios of 50 to 100. And then the temperatures obtained are 100 to 200 degrees Celsius, sometimes more than 200 degrees, that is 250 degrees Celsius it can reach. Application, power generation application and industrial process heat applications. Tracking, single axis tracking continuously needed. Economy, these Fresnel reflectors are expensive because we need to install these mirrors on a stand and then provide a elaborate secondary reflector and absorber here. So status, scope for viable indigenous development in power plant subcomponents and industrial process heating. So there is a scope for development of these linear Fresnel collectors in India. So we will take a short break here and then continue our discussion with tracking.